Carr chronicled some of the issues that they're having on the defensive end, and I know you agreed with his assessment. But what about offensively for this team? Are you buying what they bring to the table?
I've just been a proponent that when Cooper Rush came into the game this year and they won 4 in a row, they had a formula. And the formula was, we're going to protect Cooper Rush, we're going to run the football, we're going to play 3 tight ends, we're not going to be fancy, and we're going to be really exact about what we're doing. And I thought when Dak came back, that's what they should do. I thought they should still concentrate on the run game. They should really concentrate on protection. Even if it's half-field reads, like just be certain about what you're doing. And I feel like because they want Dak to be this world-class quarterback, and he's good, but can he just spread the field and just go through all these progressions and just make these throws that you got to make in a playoff game to win these playoff games? I feel like they should go back to what they were doing earlier in the year.
They should. And let's be honest, guys, like with Dak Prescott, make over $40-something million a year, something like that. I don't mean to be counting your ducats, man, but you make a lot of money, right? And it seems like our coaches, offensive play callers in the National Football League always want to call a game to validate the price, to validate the salary. Hey, guys, franchise quarterbacks cost a lot of money. That is the going rate for a franchise quarterback. So don't call a game to validate that. He's going to make that. Call a game to win some damn football games and to play a brand of football that travels, to play a brand of football that makes playing quarterback a little easier. That's all. Again, and Baldy, to your point, what you're saying is make Dak Prescott a complimentary piece. Don't make him the show. Don't make his arm the show.
I don't know if the talent around him is good enough right now.
That's a whole nother conversation.
At the receiver position. I don't know that Gallup and CD are this put fear in everybody out there. It's not like they're throwing a Justin Jefferson over there.
That's true.
Like they don't have that type of player.
And I'm not so sure that Dak Prescott, especially the middle of the field, I'm not so sure if he's seeing the middle of the field. Most of his interceptions come from the down the field, middle of the field, passing. If he can get that straight, I think they'll be fine. But to the question, I don't trust this offense going forward. But we'll see what happens.
Here's the good news from a Dallas perspective and really a Philly perspective. They're already in. Those spots are
would clinch the division for them. So, Marcus, you got to be feeling real good about the Cowboys after what you saw on Saturday, right?
Here we go.
A lot of other things I would like to see done better, but I do love the fact that Dak Prescott had the type of game that he had. Look, we've been talking about turnovers. Obviously, we've seen him throw too many picks, and you see this one after Josh Sweat, and then decisiveness came. I love this though, the athleticism. Dak wasn't doing this. He wasn't using his legs. He wasn't making these quick decisions. And then this is just being a high-level football player. This is knowing you need a critical third down, staying on your feet and being able to deliver. I think more than anything for Dak Prescott, this was a confidence-building game. I know the conversation about Jalen Hurts not playing and all of that. Darius Slay was still out there. Bradbury was still out there. He was under some duress from this defensive line, and he continued to make plays throughout the duration of this game. And make no mistake about it, Dallas has their holes. But I've said it for a number of weeks now. This team is going to go as far as Dak Prescott and Kellen Moore allows them to go. I don't know how far that is, but I know if those two aren't playing at a very high level and Kellen Moore calling plays at a high level, I don't believe Dallas has enough to have a chance to be in the NFC Championship. We get that Dak Prescott, they got a chance.
I agree.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation? It's your boy DMV back with another one. And, you know, we had an opportunity to look at 2 snippets there from 2 different shows. One show being NFL Today, or Total Access. Sorry, my bad. NFL Total Access. And then we had NFL Live, you know what I'm saying, with my guy Marcus Spears. So we had Baldy and Michael Robinson kind of break down whether or not they trust the Cowboys offense. And then you had Marcus Spears, a.k.a. Swagu, talking about, the emergence of Dak Prescott in this offense and the play calling. So the biggest thing my biggest takeaway was I felt like Baldy and Michael Robinson gave a recycled answer, some recycled notes. I don't really believe that they really dived into that Eagles game there. I really think they regurgitated some old things. The reason that I believe that is there was no mention of T.Y. Hilton, because while they mentioned the fact that maybe the guys on the outside aren't good enough and that Dak isn't as good in the middle of the field, they didn't really mention the fact that T.Y. Hilton might be able to add something to that dimension. And if you couldn't really see that in that game, I really don't believe you dived into it, truly. Talking about Dak's struggles in the middle of the field, there was a stat that was put up about how he's last in the NFL in rating with deep thirds. So deep thirds in the middle. So where are the other stats at? You know what I'm saying? They just were able to put that out there and just make it seem like Dak is just super struggling across the middle. What about intermediate middle? Or what about, the middle, short middle? What about that? Or, what I'm saying? Let's talk about how he throws to the outside. Dak's completion rate has been very, very high to try and make it seem like he's struggling. Also, they made it seem like the Cowboys have been getting away from what they're doing. The Cowboys are still running the ball pretty well. They're still running the ball a lot. They didn't run the ball well against the Eagles. So they're trying to make it seem like the Cowboys just didn't run the football. They weren't effective with it. And Dak Prescott was effective in the air. So them trying to make it seem like the Cowboys just got away from what they're doing. If this is the Jaguars week, I could understand that. But the Eagles, after the Eagles, they had to regurgitate those notes because it was a holiday weekend. And I think that, Swagu was a little bit more on par with what he was saying. He says this team goes as far as Dak and Kellen takes them. And I agree. I think that Kellen's situational football, him having to get better at that, is probably what's going to be what gets the Cowboys over the hump more than Dak Prescott going out there and being more heroic. Because we've seen Dak try to be heroic, and that way hasn't worked. This Cowboys team has to get better at situational football, and I think between the two of them, they are going to have to be the ones that are going to, manage those situations best, And again, the salary keeps coming up. How much Dak Prescott's getting paid. Matt Stafford getting paid a hell of a lot of money too. Y'all ain't bringing that up because he got a Super Bowl last year. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of quarterbacks out there making money. Derek Carr's making a lot of money. And again, I don't watch those other segments because I don't really care. But Derek Carr's making a lot of money to make plays. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that at this point in the year that this should be what's talked about. Dak's still making money. I don't even know if Dak is in the bottom of the top 10 in making money. So I don't think that it's about justifying that. I think at this point, this team is just trying to win games. And they've shown you that they'll run the ball more than they pass it, even with Dak Prescott at quarterback. So I think that we need to get rid of that narrative and let's, narrow it down to being better at game management and game situations. But that's how I feel about it, guys. Let me know how you guys think in the comment section. I'm out. Peace.